Hi everybody, welcome to TechGrowthStocks channel. Today I bring you a new episode of the Momentum Master series. Today I will cover the best tech software momentum stocks to buy for November. So please be excited with me. I will present you the best tech software momentum stocks, the best top 10. And also I want to look first at the tech software at the tech software ETF, how it performed this year. Yeah, the tech software sector had been a very strong performer this year. It had a performance of over 30%. So I think it's definitely a momentum sector. And so I want to look with you at the best momentum tech software stocks today. Yeah, please be advised, guys and girls. This video is not financial advice, so it should not be viewed as that. It's for entertainment purposes only. Okay, everybody, so let's start right off with a tech software ETF. Yeah, here we can see the longer term chart of the tech software sector, and you can see it since 2016 it had been in a strong uptrend. I mean, it was at around 100 in 2016 and now we are at 300 in the ETF, and this had been a very strong, was a very strong one. Yeah, and we see here the two dips or the two mini crashes in end of 2018 and then this year from February to the March low. Yeah, but from the March low we were at 174 and recovered strongly. So we had like nearly a 100% move off the lows, or let's say maybe an 80% move, which is quite strong. I mean, this we can clearly see the tech software sector is in a strong uptrend and it's a very hot sector. Yeah, in the short-term chart, we see the sector moved up, and now we are consolidating. We made a high at the 2nd of September, but we could not make a new high now. And yeah, we came back with the news regarding the Corona pandemic and also with the US election just one day ahead. Yeah, and now I think it could soon be an attractive entry point for tech software momentum stocks, and so we will look at the stocks now. So the first tech software momentum stock, it's classified as a tech software stock as well as a communication stock, and it is Zoom Video Communications, ZM. Yeah, here you can see the longer term chart of ZM. It was an IPO last year in April, and it built its IPO base, and this year around in March it broke out of that IPO base and it formed a strong uptrend, a very strong uptrend. In the short term chart we see an uptrend, strong uptrend, and recently we have been moving sideways, and we broke down a little bit. We made a new low from that sideways movement, or we are just at the low of that sideways movement. So I think for Zoom Video Communications, and good entry point maybe could be a bounce from the 50-day moving average, so we're buying around the 50-day moving average. Yeah, Zoom Video Communications has excellent growth characteristics, a strong EPS growth of nearly 1,800%, a super strong sales growth of 262%, and a super strong relative strength rating of 99. So it's definitely a top pick in the tech software momentum stock space. Okay, that's it for ZM. So let's have a look at the next tech software momentum stock, and it is. It's loading. It's loading. I think my internet connection has some issues. Okay, I think it's working out. Okay, it's NET, Cloudflare. Yeah, here you can see the longer term chart of Cloudflare, and we can see it was an IPO in 2019, September 2019. And yeah, quite nicely we built an IPO base without a strong correction. Yeah, we built a nice IPO base, and yeah, let's say this year we broke out of that base around March. Yeah, first we tried, we could not break out. Yeah, or let's say we broke out in March out of this IPO base, went into a nice uptrend. Yeah, so from the base breaking out from the base, we were at 22 and now we are at 52. So I think, yeah, this definitely looks interesting, this stock, because it's early in its big one, in its stock run. So I think this stock has quite a few potential. In the short-term chart, we see it was moving up. Then we had a sideways move, and we could break out of this sideways move strongly. Yeah, had a very strong volume coming in, and now we are coming back. And yeah, this volume bar, this strong volume bar, I think this shows excellent that the insiders could be in this stock. Yeah, or that insiders are in this stock. They bought this stock on high volume, really strong volume. It broke out like crazy, and now we are coming back on low volume. So I think this is really an interesting stock. Yeah, the growth characteristics are excellent as well. We have a super strong EPS growth of 48%, a super strong sales growth as well of 48%, and a very strong relative strength rating of 96. So NET is definitely a top pick in the tech software sector and in the momentum space. Okay, so that was it for NET. So let's have a look at the next tech software momentum stock, and it is Zscaler. Yeah, here we can see the longer term chart of Zscaler. Zscaler was an IPO, I think in 2018, yeah, in March 2018. And we see, yeah, it went into an uptrend after its IPO, and then we had a big correction, yeah. We corrected from 90 to, yeah, this year 35 with a March low, and from that low we could recover and move into an uptrend, and we could increase to 158 around this, or 160, around 160. So quite a strong move this year in ZS. Yeah, in the short-term chart we see an uptrend, yeah, a nice uptrend, and we made a high on 2 September, like many other stocks, yeah, and then came back from that high. And recently, we could not make a new, we could not take out this old high. We came back with the current pandemic and US election news. Yeah, and now it looks like we could build a base here. Yeah. Yeah, ZS has excellent growth characteristics, a super strong EPS growth of 450%, a super strong sales growth of 43%, and a super strong relative strength rating of 96. So it's definitely a top tech software momentum stock. Okay, that was it for ZS. So let's have a look at the next tech software momentum stock. And it is DOCU, DocuSign. Yeah, DocuSign in the long-term chart we can see here it had its IPO in April 2018, so it's not that old, which is good for which is quite good, because in general we want to trade the young stocks because they have the most potential in their, let's say, in their early years, in their early when they are not older than 10 years, or when they are not on the market for more than 10 years, they have the highest potential for super performance. And yeah, okay, let's see, we had an IPO base built here, and this took quite some time, and it broke out of that IPO base, let's say in September 2019, and we moved into a nice uptrend. In the short-term chart, you can see, yeah, we were in an uptrend, and now since July, we had a sideways movement, a sideways trend, yeah. and we made a high on 2 of September in this sideways movement, and now we have been consolidating and could not take out this high. Now we are moving to the lower end of that base here, and we have to look at this stock. I think soon it could be an attractive entry point for that stock as well. Yeah, DOCU's growth characteristics, the EPS growth is not that good. Currently it's -7%. The sales growth is strong with 42%, and the relative strength rating is with 96 is also very strong. So DOCU is also a top tech software momentum stock. Okay, so let's look at the next stock, and it is TTD, the trade desk. Okay, TTD, here you can see the longer term chart of TTD. TTD was an IPO in 2016. It built a quite nice IPO base here, broke out from that base and went into an uptrend, into a long-term uptrend. And yeah, this year we had a breakdown in TTD from, it was at 300 and it broke down to 136 and in March, and then it recovered from that low quite strongly, and now we are at 630 or 640. So you can see it definitely has strong momentum. There's definitely currently strong momentum in this stock. In the short-term chart you can see we are in an uptrend, and here we build a small sideways base, and we broke out of that base strongly, and yeah, and now we came back a little bit. We are currently came back to one of these moving averages. I think TTD could be a good entry at the 50-day moving average around 522. Yeah, TTD has excellent growth characteristics, super strong EPS growth of 58, a good sales growth of 10%, and a strong relative strength rating of 96. So it's a top tech software momentum stock. Okay, that was it for TTD. Let's have a look at the next stock, and it is SNAP, Snapchat. Yeah, here we can see the longer term chart of Snapchat. Snapchat was an IPO in 2017. After its IPO, it went into a strong downtrend, and yeah, it made its low at the end of 2018 with that downtrend, and then it moved into an uptrend. And this year, yeah, we had a breakdown in the stock. We broke down from 19 to 7, or let's say nearly 8, and in March, and we made that low in March, and then the stock could recover and move into an uptrend. And now we are at 39, around 39. In the short-term chart, you see we had a small uptrend, a sideways move, and recently on the earnings we broke out of that sideways move strongly and continued into an uptrend. Yeah, Snap is a holding also of my other strategy. Please have a look at that strategy in the playlist after that video of the best long-term TechGrowthStocks strategy. And I have that stock in the strategy, and I had it through the earnings. So I'm up with that stock 50% now, which is quite nicely. So have a look at that strategy as well. The stock there have a long-term holding period of 1 year or more, and the strategy has a very high return potential. So I think you should not miss these stocks. Okay, so let's have a look at the growth characteristics of Snap. Yeah, the EPS growth currently is not that good with 4%. The sales growth is strong with 35%, and the relative strength rating is also very strong with 96. So Snap is definitely a top tech software momentum stock. Okay, let's have a look at the next tech software momentum stock, and it is FIBN 59. Yeah, when we look at the long-term chart of 5/9, we can see it's been since 2016. It's been in a strong uptrend with and not that volatile. Yeah, and it has, or let's say, it has been in a very strong uptrend. I mean, 2016. When you look here, we were, let's say, around 650, and now we are at 151. So it's definitely a strong uptrend. In the short-term chart, yeah, we see an uptrend. Here is more sideways movement. We broke out of that sideways movement and continued into an uptrend. Yeah. 5/9 has excellent growth characteristics, a super strong EPS growth of 517%, a super strong EPS growth of 517%, a strong sales growth of 28%, and a strong relative strength rating of 95. So 5/9 is definitely a top tech software momentum stock. Okay, let's have a look at the next stock, and it is NOW, ServiceNow. Yeah, here we can see the long-term chart of ServiceNow, and we can see, yeah, since 2000 August 2000, or let's say since October 2016, it's been it moved into an uptrend in October 2016, and we can see clearly a strong uptrend. The short-term chart, this uptrend, we see an uptrend, and it's just moving higher, and now we are consolidating a little bit. Looks like a good entry point could be at the 50-day moving average here. You can see it bounced a couple of times off the 50-day moving average. So if the market is holding up and we do not see further downside, this would be, I think, an attractive entry point. Yeah. So now has the growth characteristics of now are the EPS growth is not that good. It is sluggish with minus 261%. The sales growth is good with 23%, and the relative strength rating with 92 is also not that bad. So it's also a tech software momentum stock and a good play. So everybody, so now we come to the last two tech software momentum stocks. The first one is AVLR, AVLR. Yeah, here we see the longer term chart of AVLR. We see AVLR had its IPO debut in 2018, June 2018. It built an IPO base, and let's say in March 2019, it went into an uptrend. Here we had a sideways move in that uptrend, and we broke out of that sideways movement in May 2020, and we continued with the uptrend. In the short-term chart, we see here an uptrend and a sideways movement. The sideways movement started in June this year, and yet just recently in October, let's say 8th of October, around that date, we broke out of that sideways movement, and looks like it wants to build a high handle here a little bit and came back a little bit. So AVLR's growth characteristics are the EPS growth is 8%, the sales growth is 29%, which is strong, and the relative strength rating with 92 is also good. So AVLR is a tech software momentum stock, and it's a good it has good characteristics. Okay, so now we come to the last tech software momentum stock, and it is SEIL, SailPoint Technologies. Now here you can see the longer term chart of SailPoint Technologies. After its IPO in 2017, it went into an uptrend until September 2018, and then we can see it got volatile, very volatile, and went into a down moving trend, yeah, and this trend lasted until this year in March, yeah. In March we made the low at around 13, and yeah, we could increase from that low and move into an uptrend, and yeah, and now we are trading yeah, into an uptrend, and the stock is currently in an uptrend. Now we are trading at 41. So it had a quite nice bounce of the low of this March, from the March low. In the short-term chart, you see a strong uptrend, yeah, and recently, yeah, and here we broke out. We had high volume. It was coming into the stock, very high volume, yeah, and now we this volume pushed the stock up, and now we are coming back a little bit. We are at the 50-day moving average, so I think this could be, if the market is holding up, this could be right now a good entry point for SEIL. Yeah, the growth characteristics are the EPS growth is sluggish with -70%, the sales growth is strong with 36%, and the relative strength rating is good with 93. So SEIL is definitely a good tech software momentum stock. Okay, everybody, so that was it for today for the tech software momentum stock plays. As I said, check these stocks out. The tech software sector had a very good performance year to date and over the last years. It's in a long-term uptrend, so I think it makes sense to focus on momentum stocks in that sector, on the best momentum stocks in that sector, and I gave you these stocks today. So I think you have now the good stocks in your hand, and I think these stocks could be benefiting for you. So guys, please subscribe to my channel and have a look at the other momentum stocks. I cover all the other sectors and themes I cover about momentum stocks in my Momentum Master series. And yeah, also guys, please leave a thumbs up if you like that video, and leave your comments below so I can answer to all of your comments. So guys, also have a look at my other videos. I have my other strategy is my best long-term tech growth stock strategy, which is an actively diversified strategy where I invest in the best long-term tech growth stocks. And currently I have 34 active holdings in it. So I think there could be some interesting stocks in it for you, and many of the stocks which are in that strategy I cover also in my other videos. My momentum, many of my momentum stocks are also in my best long-term tech growth stock strategy. Okay, and I have another strategy. It's a TechGrowthStocks daily strategy, and this is more kind of a short-term strategy with monthly rebalancing, and this is also a high-performing strategy. Okay, everybody. So thank you for watching this video. I wish you good luck in trading. Take care and see you next time. Thanks.